Alrighty, class. A much often debated about subject in society nowadays is actually the legalization of medical marijuana. And it's really interesting. There's a whole bunch of medical factors that play into medicinal marijuana and the benefits that it would have to the economy itself. But first, I'm gonna open up with a little story here about my friend's mom. My friend's mom, his name is Shane, and I don't really recall her name, so I'm a bad person. But anyways, back in 2007, she was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she was really scared about going through the chemotherapy and using the prescription drugs as well, because she was scared that she would become dependent upon the prescription drugs, as well as just the negative side effects that go along with it. And a few of the prescription drugs that were offered to her were Percocets, Oxycontin, and morphine. When you see a commercial and you just, like a medicinal commercial, and you just hear them talking really fast, those aren't good things that they're saying about their drug. Those are actually really negative things. I mean, that really depends on how long the commercial is right then and there. And anyways, Percocets, some of the negative side effects are fainting, slow heartbeat, confusion, and seizures. So I mean, just right there, that stuff could kill you taking it. As for Oxycontin, this drug long-term will be the death of you, honestly. It is a synthetic opiate, which is basically, if any of you don't know, an opiate is actually heroin, basically. And some of the long-term side effects include heart palpitations, anemia, personality disorder, and heart failure. So I mean, it's pretty crazy to think that these things that are supposed to be helping you are actually what's doing you in the end. Researchers have concluded that medical marijuana is medically beneficial with patients reporting anxiety reduction, appetite stimulation, nausea reduction, and pain relief. Truth is, people that turn to alternative therapies, such as medical marijuana, return with fewer negative side effects and less dependency upon the drug. So some treatments for medical marijuana is MS, and for you guys that might not know, MS is multiple sclerosis, and it's an autoimmune disease, which means your own body's white blood cells are attacking your myelin, which is not too good. But anyways, I have a quote for you here from Maria Espinoza, a doctor at the Pain Management of America. Multiple sclerosis treatment with medical marijuana may reduce or alleviate MS symptoms, such as spasticity, pain relievement, ataxia, depression, and anxiety. And I mean, when you're going through these treatments for multiple sclerosis, I mean, you're offered those same drugs that I was repeating to you earlier. And I mean, this could be an alternative therapy. Another big one, which medical marijuana plays a big factor in, is cancer. And cancer, this is really truly miraculous, actually. But I'm going to open it up with a quote here for you. One chemical found in marijuana, THC, prevents cancer from spreading. Researchers at California Medical Center in San Francisco reported in 2007. And the way that it does that is THC actually binds to a gene in your body called LD1. And this is a gene that cancer uses as a vessel to go through your body and spread, which is actually a pretty crazy fact that marijuana THC actually binds to it and shuts down the gene altogether so that it can't reproduce and travel throughout the body. So I thought that was just totally miraculous. Another one is glaucoma. Now glaucoma, for those of you who do not know, is an eye disease in which the pressure of your eyeball gets so tense. Like, I'm sure you've seen people sometimes with their eyeballs that look like they're popping out, and it looks pretty crazy and creepy. But yeah, that's glaucoma for you. And eventually, if you don't take care of the glaucoma, you will actually have too much pressure on your optic nerve, which will cause you to lose you'll become blind in the end. And so I have another quote on how medical marijuana actually helps alleviate this. According to the National Eye Institute, studies in the early 1970s showed that when smoked, it lowered the intraocular pressure on the optic nerve. And actually, that's basically what glaucoma is right there. I mean, it alleviated the pressure in most of its test subjects and prevented blindness. You know, I could name like millions of treatments that marijuana is used for nowadays. But I mean, just a small little list here. It slows the progression of Alzheimer's disease, anxiety, it reduces it, and insomnia. And for some of you that may be skeptical about smoking marijuana, it does not have to be smoked. I will tell you that right now. It can actually be it can be ingested and common methods actually. People will resort to making cookies and brownies and actually baking it into their goods. And yeah, I think that's crazy. As for the governmental benefits, there's a lot of them actually. It would generate billions in tax dollars every year, offer a large new revenue stream, and it would open many jobs. I have a quote for you here from an economist. "We do not know exactly what the size of medical marijuana market is, and we certainly do not know the price or the demand under different levels of legality. However, we do know that legalization would lead to a positive revenue impact due to sales tax and income tax." And that's Carolyn Fairchild. Also with government spending, I mean, this is a big part, I mean, of where we lose a lot of our money every year from medical marijuana is because the things that us, the citizens of America, do to prohibit medicinal marijuana costs us $41.8 billion a year, just for the campaigns, ads, all that stuff about medical marijuana. So I mean, that's just $41.8 billion coming back into the taxpayers' wallets money, which is just crazy. $41.8 billion. Let's see here. Every medical marijuana clinic that is opened actually increases our jobs, like our employment rate, because every grow center that opens actually opens up 50 to 75 jobs, and that's just a shit ton of jobs. So in end, this is it's obvious that medical marijuana would have a positive impact for those with multiple sclerosis, cancer, you know, glaucoma, even seizures, Alzheimer's, all these. And it would have a positive effect on our economy as well. So I mean, next time that Prop 420 comes around, maybe you guys, the voters, will vote yes on Prop 420. Thank you.
Esther, share your thoughts, please.
I think you have a lot of information about marijuana, but I wasn't too sure, because in the beginning I thought it was for medical purposes, but at the end I kind of think it was, you switched over to saying we should legalize marijuana. So I wasn't too sure about where the whole topic was going towards. But there was a lot of information, there was a lot of, I mean, the credibility, citing all the sources was great. And yeah, you took marijuana to a whole nother level.
All right, Alex, you're a lot more controlled in this presentation, so that's good. I do think that you need a stronger structure, though, because it just becomes an inventory of all the potential benefits of marijuana that are medical in nature, and you need to structure that a little bit more. I thought you were starting off talking about the way marijuana is going to be useful to assist people with their cancer treatments, but the next thing I know, we're talking about multiple sclerosis, and just as that's developing, we shift gears and we're talking about glaucoma. And it just felt like it then became an inventory kind of thing, which is not necessarily a bad thing if that is the focus of your speech. But then it does feel like it's moved around a little bit to different issues. We're not spending $41 billion a year trying to prevent medical marijuana. The $41 billion a year that gets spent on drug enforcement issues is not just medical marijuana, but it's all kinds of drugs and marijuana also. You basically are conflating issues a little bit here. You've got medical marijuana being conflated with legalization of marijuana, and that kind of makes it a little bit messy in the second part of the speech. All right, I'm going to cut you short because